Ladies and gentlemen, now today, for a little bit of fun, I wanted to take Thing into Variant 3 Polar Opposites, also known as the Tech Variant, because there's a lot of gameplay on my channel and also on YouTube of Thing kind of performing really well in Variant 2 and also Variant 1. Like, he's an absolutely insane character for both of the first two variants, and a lot of people use him for those. However, I really haven't seen much gameplay of Thing in Variant 3, and kind of looking at the restriction of minus 50% base attack, you know, it does somewhat reduce the damage output of Thing, but the fact that most of his damage and attack comes from the champion synergy, which for every stat gives you 100% more attack, I don't think like it's the biggest reduction with Variant 3. So testing and having a bit of a play about today, I had so much fun. This first fight, we've got a 6-star Iceman mini-boss, and this guy, as you can see, is a 6-star awakened version of Iceman with almost 50,000 power index. He's got about 220,000 hit points, so this dude is really stacked, and this fight was a little bit on the edge because we did get a frostbite toward the beginning, but still with a Heimdall synergy we managed to survive that and also finish off the fight perfectly there. So yeah, a very stacked version of Iceman, one of the most stacked versions of the character in the game. We managed to get down there. The first lot of fights that we're going to be showing you guys today all have the biohazard node active. So this is the one where you attack into them, there's a chance that you're going to bleed. And Thing, he's a bleed immune character, but if you do get a bleed, it removes a certain amount of stacks of rock stack. So it makes playing this champion a little bit more annoying, especially when you're trying to get a very big special 2 with the stun, or a special 3 with the Mega Fury as well. So it's a little bit annoying for that, but it also means in none of these fights we can hit into the block, which makes like battling Thing versus Thing like a little bit more tricky as well, because usually you can just like tap into the block a few times in order to give him a certain amount of rock stacks, and yeah, we didn't have that luxury in the Thing versus Thing matchup. Now, one of my favorite things to do, and we do this a couple of times in the video, is you've got a fairly safe way to kind of eat a special 3 right toward the end of the fight if you're very confident you can finish it in another combo. So if you intercept with Unstoppable right after that, if you've got enough stacks of rock stack, then yeah, it's just really easy to, like, you know, throw off a combo, throw a special attack and get the opponent down. So you're gonna see we do that a couple of times in this video, but it makes for a very, very satisfying kill there. This next fight against Morningstar, we are straight into eating the hits there. Usually if I have above 5% health, I'll go for a few parries at the start just to give myself Unstoppable, because it makes it much easier to kind of recover from the combo and get straight into nuking the opponent. However, if I'm at like 2%, you know, I've pretty much got no parries before I get absolutely ruined and go into the champion phase where I want to get hit as much as possible so that I can generate as much fury as possible. At the start of this fight, we had the most insane run with the champion synergy, so we got 10 stacks of fury, 1000% more attack. So yeah, we can just go for another parry, 5 combos straight into special 3, and this fight is done. So yeah, a really stacked version of Morningstar, about 200,000 hit points there, just absolutely annihilated. A really good matchup for Thing, and honestly, that's one of the most satisfying points about the character for me, is because you can enter a matchup like that with like 2% health, you've got absolutely nothing left, get battered for a little bit, and then just make a really epic comeback and destroy your opponent in like 25-30 hits. So yeah, he's just such a fun champion to play. I've had him at rank 2 I think for about 2 months now, and I have absolutely zero regrets, and I do say that there are maybe other champions for the majority of players to take up to rank 2 or rank 5 first, but you know, if you do have the availability to do so, I recommend everybody take a 5-star version of Thing up to rank 4, or you know, just get really lucky and pull a 6-star version of the champion, because he's so much fun to have, and he definitely does have these scenarios with a full synergy team where you can just absolutely destroy all sorts of matchups. So my 6-star Thing is at rank 2, but as a reminder, we're not using boost in today's video, so if you are a player that like has a 5-star version at rank 4 or a 6-star version, you can achieve a very similar result to what you're seeing today if you do activate a 20% attack and health boost, and also a 15% or 10% attack boost as well, because that's going to bring the stats of your 5-star rank 4 or your 6-star rank 1 up to the equivalent power level of a 6-star rank 2. So you know, just keep in mind if you want to use like a 5-star rank 4 version or your 6-star Thing, if you're lucky enough to get him from a crystal, because now he's in the basic pool, man, this power level is very, very accessible, and Thing again isn't a champion that really needs to be awakened at all. Like, his awakened ability is kind of like nice to have, because it gives you a bit of protection from damage whenever you throw a heavy attack or take a really big hit. However, it really, you know, isn't that noticeable when playing the champion unless you have him max sig and you use him in a particular way in a certain scenario. But yeah, we're not really playing Thing that way at all in my gameplay videos. So yeah, the awakened ability, it's nice to have, but again, it doesn't really matter. Beautiful little matchup there against Biohazard king group, but now we're going to move on to some slightly more tricky matchups. We got the biohazard thing and also the biohazard Korg, and I think I made a little bit of a mess of this matchup here. So my goal right at the beginning was to parry 3 times just to get the 15 stacks of rock stack, and then I'm going to be unstoppable. So now I'm going to let him mash into me just so I can generate that fury, and I didn't want to give him any power just because usually characters attack the fastest when they're just spamming their base attacks. However, we only got 6 stacks of fury there, so it was all right, not the best, not the worst in terms of RNG, and now we want to build thing up to 15 stacks of rock stack. As a reminder, we cannot attack into the block in this matchup because of the biohazard node. If we attack into the block, we get poisoned, and thing isn't poison immune, so you're going to instantly die from that. So yeah, we need to be very, very careful in this one. We bait out a special 1, so that's a pretty damn good time there. I managed to clear all the stacks of rock stack. We go for a parry there, straight into a 5 combo. Unfortunately, the biohazard is kind of chipping down my stack, so I'm trying to get up to 20 just in order to get like the mega fury off the special 3 as well. Here I should have just gone for a 5 combo. I'm not really too sure why I didn't. I think I was trying to like bait out a parry to get the maximum stacks of rock stack. So yeah, I kind of mess up here a little bit, and if you mess up in thing, like, it kind of chains on, man. It very much reverberates throughout the rest of the matchup. And here I think I make another mistake. So I've got 20 stacks of rock stack right now, or 17. I should have baited out a special 1, but I think I go for a parry and then straight into a special 3 here. So he's got 15 stacks of rock stack, man. This is just going to trigger unstoppable, so it was a really, really bad play on my behalf there. I was just a bit too thirsty to get that bonus damage output. So yeah, certainly not the most optimal play in this thing versus thing matchup, because now he's got unstoppable, so we can't really attack into him unless we get like 2 cheeky hits while he's stunned. Throws a special 2, doesn't get rid of those stacks of rock stack because he was only on 13 there. So yeah, that was really, really annoying. I think if I'd been a little bit more patient there, would have got it, but there we go, a couple of hits, man. 14 stacks of rock stack. He throws that special 1. We actually managed to get rid of that unstoppable there, which was a really, really good time, but now we're just nuking in, trying to get this man down. We've been backed into the corner a little bit, being punished certainly for my mistakes. I get the Heimdall synergy trigger, I retaliate with a special 1, and we get that man down. So yeah, we got thing down, but it was a sloppy matchup, boys, a sloppy matchup. Now, if you're an absolute god with light attack intercepts like Invincible, you might find this matchup a little bit easier. This is the Thing versus Korg one, but I'm rubbish at those. I'm absolutely terrible. So kind of my game plan in this matchup, because Korg is the very first opponent on the biohazard path, was to use my existing health pool kind of outside of the champion synergy in the final phase that you usually play thing in, to kind of whittle down Korg's stacks of rock stack, because every time you break it, he returns with 1 less charge of rock shield. So I wanted to kind of bring it like sub 5 and see how low I could get it, and then have like the perfect lineup with a special 3 just to go in and nuke the remaining hit points there. Because Thing versus Korg, you know, it's an alright matchup. It's not the best, but he can get the job done. So that's, you know, certainly what you need, especially on a biohazard node where your core killing options are somewhat limited. And, you know, you're very lucky if you're a player that has like a Mega Red or a stacked version of Ghost and are very talented at playing those characters. But there are also champions like Sentinel, Warlock, and also Guillotine 2099 that are very, very effective against this Korg. But, you know, he's somewhat niche, and just to throw it out there, man, if you do have a version of Thing, you can play this matchup a little bit more steadily and actually get this champion down, which is a really good time. So we've used the special 3 there just to break his initial stack of rock shield. Now it's going on cooldown, so I'm just trying to get parry here, and then we go in with a combo. Loads of light attacks toward the end, so we managed to get off a ton of rock shield charges there. Go for the full evade on the special 1, retaliate with a 5 combo. We are 70 hits in so far, and just because we don't have like that massive fury at the moment, like our damage output is very, very lacking in the Korg matchup. So I'm trying to get to another special 3 and then find the right time just after we've shattered a rock shield to kind of get back in and take this man down. Also, while baiting out that special 2, we quickly held block before retaliating just to get the additional fury for Heimdall. Like, going into this final phase where we want to burst him down, we want to make sure we've got as much damage as possible to finish this man off, because again, we have barely made a dent so far on 100 hits. And this Korg, we do not want him lasting for too long and getting more rock shield charges. So here, it's all about that final phase lineup. So we avoid the special one there. We didn't actually fully avoid it. We got clipped toward the end. But it's all right, man. We didn't take that much damage. And again, the hit points don't really matter too much because we're going to burst down into the phase where we're going to essentially sacrifice ourselves, rely on the champion synergy. But before that, we break the rock shield and then we just get absolutely battered. So we're just standing here now, trying to generate as much of those 100% Furies from the champion synergy as possible. We managed to generate a total of 7, so that's 700% more attack. We only had 17 stacks of rock stacks, so we didn't fully utilize the Fury there. However, we will have the unblockable coming out of this special 3, so even if he does block, we can kind of punish that and nuke him very, very aggressively. But from that one special 3, we deal just under 40,000 damage, so a really, really nice special 3 there. We go straight into the block because we do have unblockable, so we don't need to worry about the biohazard node there. So yeah, managed to get a ton of hits after that special 3. We go for a parry, another 5 combos straight into a special 1, and there we go, that man is down. So a very clutch little kill against Variant Korg there, but thing, you know, he's not the best option for Variant Korg, but as you can see today, man, he is an option that in the hands of a skilled player can end up working. Now, moving off the biohazard node, we got some additional fights here. So we literally started this matchup with 1 hit point against Howard the Duck in the very final chapter, and you can see here we managed to take 11 direct hits during that champion indestructible phase. We unfortunately did get clipped by a heavy attack there, but we use our special 1 to interrupt the next heavy attack against Howard the Duck and kind of start reining this fight back a little bit more, because yeah, we got all the Fury, man. I just needed to get out the corner because I only started with like 1 health in this matchup. I had like no room to parry at the start and kind of build up indestructible. So here we're going for a parry straight into a 5 combo. We got 20 stacks of rock stack, so throwing off that special 2 will stun the opponent. That allows us to get a 5 combo, a 2 combo, and then straight into another 5 combo again. So yeah, just a great little takedown of Howard the Duck, man. When the stars align and you do manage to get 10 plus Furies, this character is just God mode. His damage output is so ridiculous, and I'm curious to see like if Thing is going to be a viable option for the Abyss of Legends and some fights when it comes to that. I think due to the amount of diversity that I would assume is going to be required by Abyss of Legends, Thing probably isn't going to be the best character, but I'm kind of curious to see if he is going to be an option when that does come out. But anyway, moving on to our very next matchup, we've got the Infinity War version of Iron Man. So I thought this one would be a fun little challenge to try and take down. So this one is on the armor block node. So it's like when you attack into his block, like he gains a stack of armor, and if you get 5 of those, he detonates that and you're going to explode and die. So we basically can't hit into this Iron Man's block, which isn't the biggest penalty in the world, but it's just like a little annoyance when it does come to this matchup. So we managed to get 7 stacks of the big Fury toward the start of this fight, and like Iron Man has such high critical resistance that it's very hard to land critical hits against this champion with Thing. Usually champions that have really like high base crit, you see crits occasionally, but with this champion, I barely saw like any critical hits during this matchup. So I'm really like relying on the special 3 and the 20 stacks of rock stack to really push out a lot of the damage output in this matchup. So yeah, we managed to get a cheeky little intercept there, bang out a 5 combo, get a parry there, straight into another 5 combo as well. But unfortunately, like, you know, our attacks are just dealing no damage if they don't crit, man, which is really, really annoying, and we just never critting in this matchup. So yeah, we get a double dodge on the special 2 there. We then double dash back on the heavy attack just so we can go in for a full 5 combo counter, because kind of our next goal is to build up to another special 3 so that we can bait out his final 15% phase, get all the stacks of armor kind of triggered, avoid the specials while he has the power gain, and then once all of the armor is gone, then we're going to use a special 3 and end this matchup. So yeah, that's kind of the goal now. And the adrenaline mechanic on the 6-star version of this champion, absolutely love it. It's just such a nice little touch, so I like being able to kind of recover the health and regen back a little bit. And here it's just all about staying alive, so sometimes we are going in for heavy counters just for a little bit of fun to trigger protection, but we've got him down now to 17%, so we just need like a few more hits, another combo to trigger that final 15%. So he's got his auto block active now, he's going to have his power gain, so you can see that power just absolutely soaring up there. We just need to bait out another special 1 and then go for a parry so we can get a double Fury buff, and then special 3, we nail the perfect damage bonus of 20%, so we fire that one off and this man is just absolutely ruined. Before going into this fight, I was a little bit cynical as to whether or not Thing would be actually able to handle a really stacked version of Infinity War Iron Man, but yeah, I was really impressed, man. That was a really solid performance against one of the most stacked Iron Men in the game. So yeah, 10 out of 10, mate. Now, next up, we also had a matchup that I was a little bit curious about. There was a very stacked version of Darkhawk in one of the earlier chapters with Unblockable Special 1 on the note, and I was curious to see whether or not Thing would be able to handle this fight. But with his Special 3 ability, he also does become unblockable after it, which is a counter to the auto block mechanic that Darkhawk has when you knock him down. So after you knock him down with a Special 3, you can still attack him because you still have that unblockable, which is a really cool little feature of the champion, man, and something good to know. If you're going up against Darkhawk, just make sure you use the Special 3, and probably not the Special 2, but before that, we need to deal with the invisibility phase, and we got so many misses here. It was absolutely mad. 2 hits to be safe, 3 hits to be a bit cheeky, but generally like a medium light medium. You know, you're mostly not going to get ruined by the invisibility mechanic there. You've just got to be very sharp on the parries, but sometimes, man, it can screw you over a little bit. But we just managed to get a Special 3 just before 20 stacks of Rock Stack were about to dissipate there, so that's going to push him all the way up to his Special 2, but also put him in his protection, shielding, auto-blocking phase as well. So yeah, that was actually a really nice Special 3, man. We got 35,000 damage there. You can see with shield mode, we could go straight in and not have to worry there. Went for another very cheeky 5 combo as well. I'm aware that I've got Unstoppable, Unblockable, and I'm about to trigger Indestructible as well. So after this, man, I'm like, I have to do what I did against Unstoppable Colossus. We've got to go straight in, and we're pretty much guaranteed to win. So yeah, we go straight in, you know, chain on a Special 1, and sort that man out. So, you know, that worked out in the end. Certainly a pretty good matchup there against Darkhawk, but, you know, I was pleasantly surprised he could just absolutely obliterate that one. Now, looking back on this Aeon matchup, I think there's like a slightly different way to play the Aeon matchup, just because the Special 1 has so many hits, and sometimes you want to get like absolutely battered by a champion that has like 7+ hits in their Special 1, just because that can give you like 7 Furies, and that's 700% more attack. But I just let him combo me, and you can see we've got 7, 8, 9 Furies there, so it was really good. But I think if I got him up to like half a bar of power and then let him combo and hopefully chain on a Special 1, I could have potentially got up to about 14 Furies there if I was very, very lucky. So yeah, just some cheeky stuff that you can do sometimes playing Thing, but still 9 Furies is a lot of firepower, so we went straight in for a 5 combo Special 2, 5 combo, 2 combo, 5 combo, and then chain on a Special 1, and Aeon, even with a class disadvantage and also the aspect of evolution note, that man got absolutely battered there. So that was a fantastic result. But what about the bosses? Is he viable for some of the variant bosses? And to the best of my knowledge, I think Thing can work for every single fight aside from the very final Kang. I don't think Thing, even with his like super stacked phase and all the RNG in the world, can surpass the regeneration that Kang has. Because if you don't kill him in 20 seconds, he's going to fully regenerate up to like 400,000. So yeah, I don't really think he's that great for the final chapter, but you can always like bring out Heimdall, man, because he's just like the backup safety net when it comes to Thing, and bring a champion like Sentinel to deal with the fights that Thing can't deal with if you do have a very stacked version of this champion. But who knows, it might be possible, man. Maybe if you activated full boost, you know, you never really know what can happen in this game. But yeah, might be possible, but I wouldn't try it, man. You probably want to go for a little bit more safety, especially if it's your first time doing 100% exploration, or going for an initial completion in Variant. But at least from what I've seen today, Thing is perfectly viable for both of the Magneto bosses, also the Wolverine, the Storm, and also the Colossus boss as well. Because the Colossus boss, the main thing you need to worry about is the bleed, and like Thing is a bleed immune champion anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much in that matchup. Maybe after his buff he's going to be a little bit more tanky, but I think Thing should still have enough damage output to absolutely destroy him. And yeah, Thing, as you can see, man, works an absolute treat for that Storm. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy today's Thing variant gameplay video, please do smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Aside from that, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.